We have some of us decades before we're going to be able to retire. That's reality. So rather than living it miserable, why aren't we making this work for us? Because I think a lot of us have been treating side hustles like they're some kind of escape hatch from burnout. Freedom, the way out, the backup plan, the thing that finally lets us stop answering Teams messages and pretending that Sharon's quick question isn't about to ruin our entire afternoon. Hey, I'm Crystal. I've lived a lot of years working and a bit of time laid off, along with a bit of time trying to figure out my escape from corporate. And this whole mix has gotten me to the realization that a job is still a steady income, and I don't want to keep being ticked off about being work. If I have to be there for so long during the day, I want to make work for me. But no, that's not it. After spending the last couple of years actually trying this side hustle stuff, I gotta say, I think the internet is leaving out a pretty important detail. A side hustle is still a job, and I'm right there with you. I bought into this too. After I got laid off, I spent almost a year job hunting, and somewhere in there, I started thinking, okay, well, maybe I need something that's mine. Maybe I need a backup plan. Maybe I need a way out of this whole system. And if your feeds look anything like mine, every third video is basically someone telling you to quit corporate, build passive income, start an Etsy shop, start a YouTube channel, sell digital products, make your money while you sleep. And after a while, it starts sounding completely plausible because enough people are succeeding that your brain starts thinking, hey, okay, why not me? And maybe it could be you. But in a lot of ways, side hustles can actually become more stressful than traditional jobs because there's no guaranteed paycheck at the end of each week. A normal weekend for me is to basically spend every spare minute working on Etsy stuff. It seems like it's so simple, but you have to figure out what you're going to design, create it. There's mock-ups, SEO things, creating a listing, Printify setups, the Etsy setups, and then the socials, Pinterest, whichever ones you use, descriptions to create, pins to do, titles, videos. That's not even all the things. Trying to figure out the Etsy strategy, the Pinterest strategy, the YouTube strategy, Facebook strategy. And after all that work, I made $0. Actually, that's not true. I made $2. I finally made a sale. This go around, I made a sale. I got $2 off that sale. I mean, I'll take it, but I'm not quitting my day job because the effort that you put in does not automatically equal success. I think that's a very big part that people don't talk about enough. The problem is that we mostly see the success stories. We don't see the thousands of people trying things that never gain traction. To no sales, no views, no magical freedom. And I'm not even saying don't try. I'm still trying. I actually think that building something outside your job can be incredibly valuable. You learn things, you're challenging yourself, you're creating something that's yours in whatever your side hustle is. You find new skills and interests that you didn't even know that you'd enjoy. I didn't know that I'd enjoy editing videos as much as I do. I didn't realize that learning Canva would end up helping me at work too. I just think that we need to stop romanticizing this idea that side hustles automatically equal freedom. If your side hustle becomes emotionally identical to the work life you were trying to escape, then what exactly did you solve? And that's the part that I've really been thinking about lately. Because when you're burned out, stressed about money, worried about layoffs, retirement, worried about the future, freedom becomes very seductive. Of course it does, especially when people online make it sound like there's this giant hidden world where everybody's making six figures selling planners and printables while drinking iced coffee on a balcony somewhere. Meanwhile, back in reality, a lot of people are spending every free hour building things that may never become stable income. I'm not being negative. That's reality. Pretending otherwise is part of what burns people out even harder, because then if success doesn't happen quickly, people start assuming that they failed, when sometimes the reality is just this stuff is unpredictable. There's timing, algorithms, market saturation, visibility, audience behavior, luck, and that's across multiple different side hustle options. You can absolutely improve your chances by learning and improving, giving it your all. But come on, effort alone, it's not going to guarantee anything. Effort increases possibility, but it does not increase certainty. We already know this in every other area of life. People train hard and still lose competitions. People write amazing books that nobody reads. But when it comes to side hustles, the internet suddenly acts like success is mathematically inevitable if you just grind hard enough. No, ma'am, no. I don't buy that anymore. I am still building things. I'm still experimenting, and I'm always into learning. I'm just not buying this fantasy version anymore. Realistically, if you are serious about eventually replacing your income with a side hustle, what makes the most sense is to have a real plan for your escape, which may or may not include pina coladas. The choice is yours. Some things to think about are, what does your household actually cost to run every month? Not fantasy numbers. The real numbers, your mortgage or rent, utilities, food, insurance, car payments, your budget. What's your total debt that you're paying out? Car payments, kids, pets, all the bills that you're paying. Your random life nonsense that keeps happening because apparently adulthood is a subscription service. But now to that, the taxes you're going to need to fully pay yourself. Health insurance. Now you're going to have to pay for this on your own. The retirement you're saving for. How about those slow months when you're not earning anything? Emergencies that you still have to account for. Freedom costs money too. A lot of people are jumping emotionally into side hustles before they ever sit down and figure out what their actual stability number even is. Because that paycheck that people love to treat like a prison sentence, that thing might also be funding your ability to experiment safely right now. That's your insurance, your groceries, the software, the courses, the equipment, the ability to try things. And I think sometimes that we get so emotionally obsessed with escaping work that we never stop to ask, how do I make my current work life more sustainable while I'm building whatever comes next? Because if you're miserable at your job, then miserable at your side hustle, then stressed every second that you're awake trying to optimize both, that's not freedom either. That's just two jobs and anxiety. And that's the bigger thing that I've been realizing through all of this. The answer isn't corporate good or side hustle good. I think the real answer is learning how to stop treating every form of work like survival mode. Build something if you want to. Try things, learn, experiment, but go into it awake. And not because you watched someone that convinced you that financial freedom is hiding behind a Canva template and a dream. Because if all that were true, I'd already own a villa somewhere and Sharon from accounting would never find me again.